What's going on, guys? It's Gendo here, and welcome to episode 49 of The World's First. If you're still enjoying the series, please go and hit that like button. Lets me know that you're still interested. Now, today, we got our final two matches of the season. Home against Chester, home against Accrington Stanley, and safety positions not quite on the line at this point in time. Let's take a look at the last month's plus, and you'll see why. So since our last live come against Boston, we only won 3 matches compared to 5 losses. Funnily enough, all 3 of those wins, 2-1 victories, and 2 of them we had to come from behind to actually pull off those victories. Against Bournemouth Town, as you can see, they got off to a great start in the 6th minute with the 1-0 lead, but then Liam Davies in the second half getting himself a brace to give us all 3 points on the day. Against Oxford City, another team that is sitting right in the same relative position that we are. 2 goals in 2 minutes, 1 for either side. Oxford City scoring first, Joe Grayson on our side scoring second, and then the eventual match winner coming on our side in the 77th minute with David Jones. And then against Bishop Stortford, a top 4 team, very lucky we were able to jump on them with a couple of quick counterattacks to come away 2-1 victors here. Jack Steele, Liam Davies on our side. They got one in the 73rd minute, and we're putting constant pressure on us in the last 20 minutes. Fortunately, the defense were able to hold them down and give us the win and the 3 points on this day. However, you take a look at the losses, you see Stockport, Southport, Newport. We couldn't buy a win against a port. 1 port, 2 port, red port, blue port. Name a port, and we couldn't beat them. And I don't think we got a win over any of them this past season. As you can see, Torquay and Bristol Rovers, these last 2 matches, not really looking good going into the end of the season as we came away losers against them. But hopefully, that form doesn't matter, because with just 2 matches left to go in the season, we are 8 points clear of the drop zone, which means we are staying in the National League for 1 more season. And actually, if all goes well for us and the teams around us get to losing, we could possibly see ourselves up into 13th place. But at the same time, if we lose all our matches and everyone around us wins, we will only fall as far as 19th, which, to be quite honest with you, the media had us predicted in that relative range anyway. They were predicting us to get relegated in the first place. So sitting right now in 16th place, not that bad. Like I said, I initially wanted just to stay around mid-table by the end of the season, because I feel like that would give us a good stepping stone going into the next season in the National League. Build upon the squad that we have and possibly leapfrog into playoff spots next season. Who knows? That's for another time. Right now, we just need to focus on the 2 matches today, Chester and Accrington Stanley. Look who's back. Yeah, guess who I found walking the street? This poor mug in Anthony Steer. He did not have a single team come for him after he wanted out of his contract last season, and to be quite honest with you, not that bad of a player, just looking a little lax in the vision. That's really all his faults were. I'm surprised that nobody decided to pick him up. Well, like I said, he wasn't on a contract with any team. Nobody decided to pick him up, so I wanted to bring him back in because I know I'm going to be having a couple strikers leave in the offseason. Alright, and this is the lineup that we're going to be going out with against Chester. We have McCullough and Nets, McCoy, Stott, Piergiani, and Whittleson along the back line. Jones, Grayson, Pearson, Steele, the mid-4, and then the 2 strikers up front, Liam Davies and Rob Foster. Let's not dilly-dally around. Let's just get right into the penultimate match of the season. 15 minutes gone and absolutely nothing. Alright, 25 minutes gone, and we finally get our first highlight, and it falls to us. Pierce through to Grayson. Can we find some space through the middle of the park? But it looks like Chester are really blocking us off. They can't really let us do anything. There's not a lot of action going on. Not going to lie here. Not a lot of shots. Only 2 taken from Chester. Both of them have not been on target. We've been doing very well defensively, but at the same time, we cannot do well on the attacking end to try and get a goal. And it was a good save from McCullough there, forcing the corner. They get the ball in the top of the box. I'm surprised they didn't turn and shoot, and we do get a good clearance away. Half an hour gone, Chester once again coming forward. They are looking pretty good. It's a good save. Chester looked to be more gifted in the attacking style, but we do come away with a counterattack right here. Rob Foster, he just played out to the wing. Pierce out to Steele. Does have a couple of men in the box. If we can just pick out a cross, but with a heavy touch, Chester clear the ball away. I mean, we have not been doing very well to keep this ball, to have any sort of attacking chance in the middle of the park. And as you can see, oh wow, that was a really bad pass. That was a really bad clearance from Chester. We had our chance, but Liam Davies smacking it into a defender. Well, when both teams are performing, well, you're not going to get a lot of highlights. As you can see right here, it's 0-0. Only the couple of highlights that were shown throughout the game. There just really has not been any sense of urgency between both teams right now just to get a goal. We're both very content with the draw. As like I said, we're not really going to be moving up or down too far. We're not in any danger of the relegation zone at this point in time. But still, I would like to try and go out there and get a win. And the team is not playing like they want to get a win. So I'll make some changes at the half. Second 45. Let's get right back out there. David Jones already getting into the box. Oh my God, I wasn't even going to call this, but 20 seconds in, Jack Steele off of a Grace Cross fin from David Jones off the kickoff. We get a goal. Get in, boys. This is the type of spark that we wanted. Admittedly, I changed us up from a counter-attacking style to a controlling style, but I didn't think that off the opening kickoff we would get a cross in. The goalkeeper tips it, but not well enough. Finds the back of the net, and Sheffield get off to a lead now, finally. And 65 minutes now as the ball is coming forward. That was a failed clearance from Widowson, and Chester have answered back. It looks like both teams have made proper changes in the second half. Defensively, though, we didn't mark O'Donnell because, well, I didn't feel that O'Donnell was a threat. I want to say O'Donnell he is the striker, and I do have everything set to mark him. We cannot allow those crosses coming through. Chester equalize. It's 1-1. Not long to go now. 5 minutes. That was a really bad pass from Chester. And what can we do here? Andre Jones trying to pass it through. Nobody's there on the end of it. Number 14, Liam Davies, apparently doesn't have the speed, even though he does have a good enough pace for this division. We get the ball back, though. Foster to Jones to McCoy, who can put in a decent cross. He does. He finds Jack Steele. Steele just couldn't go towards the open part of the net. He smacks it directly at the goalkeeper as we clear the ball out. Well, we're trying to clear the ball. Not very good as Chester get the ball once again and are in our attacking third, looking to try and make something happen, looking to try and find a final goal. 2 minutes of stoppage time on the clock. Once we hit the 90, it's a decent ball. Foster's one-on-one. He needs to score that. If he would have taken one more touch, try and round the goalkeeper, we probably could have had the game-winning goal here, but instead we have to settle for a corner, and nothing's coming of it. Liam Davies with the ball has to go all the way back out to the center circle to steal. Maybe we can try and find something here. Stott. Just go up. Just pass it forward. McCoy, you're a decent crosser. Highlights over. And just like that, a 0-0 draw becomes a 1-1 draw. And to be quite honest with you, we did have a couple of chances late, especially that Rob Foster one where he just needed that one extra touch around the goalkeeper, and we probably could have come away with all 3 points here. But instead, it's only a point. It's only a draw. Doesn't hurt us, but obviously doesn't help us either in our final positioning. Let's get into the match versus Accrington Stanley, though, however, as they're sitting up in 12th place, not really doing much on their end either, not really much to play for this season, except just to try and hold 12th place. So let's get into the team sheet for that match and see if any changes are going to be made. All right, so final match day of the season against Accrington Stanley, and I'm going to bring an old one out of the closet, dust it off. It's the 4-3-3. Want to try and get as many attacking chances as I can in this game, and I feel like 4-3-3 probably be the better of the formations that I have. Also says Accrington Stanley is kind of weak against it, so let's test that theory, and here's what we're going to have today. We're going to McCullough in net, McCoy, Stott, Piergianni, and Widowson along the back line, Pierce, Jones, and Grayson, the 3 center mids, and then the 3 guys up front, Peters, Foster, Liam Davies. Final match day. Want to end on a high note. Let's see if we can come away with a win. Let's kick off and see what happens. I know tactical familiarity is key, but what the hell? We're in the last match of the season. Might as well try something new just to see how it goes, right? Ball coming through, 19 minutes gone. Accrington Stanley looking very deadly here on the attack. Shokumbi tries to get it through, but Stott there with the clearance, and the ball is out to Davies. Maybe we can hit him on a counterattack here, but nobody is helping him. And that ends the highlights. Gets the ball in. It falls to Peters. It's a very poor clearance. He's going to pass it. He's going to shoot it. He better pass it. Tries to go far post to Davies. It's outside of the post. That was a perfect opportunity to get a goal there. 37 minutes gone, and Accrington Stanley did have a little bit of attacking movement. We did clear it away, and maybe we can come up and get something here. Widowson puts in a cross, but just really didn't find anybody. It looked more like a shot than a cross. Widowson, once again on the wing, out to Davies. I don't know how good of a crosser he is. Finds Rob Foster, and he just misses the post too. Halftime 0-0. We've had the better attacking chances. We've had more shots, just our finishing is really, really crap. 8 shots, one of them being on target. Can we get something like what we did against Chester? Don't count on it. Second 45, coming at you. No tactical changes. Let's go. 5 minutes in, Accrington with a corner kick tries to whip it in. We do clear it away, but not far enough as they get the ball once again. Oh, that was a good ball through. If he can just find a pass, but Duxbury all over him, forcing him to go back out to the box. Shokumbi, Tatunga, all these names. Steenson, finally something normal. The ball either saved or bounced off the post, but very fortunate for us. But we do get the ball right back. Grayson to Davies. You can just lump it over the top. That'd be great. Finds Foster, who's sitting in a really deep role. Not really his best spot. Pierce gets it out to McCoy. He has 3 men in the box. Just cross it in. Find somebody. Davies. Oh, nice long ball over the top. Peters. Can't find anybody inside. He finds Anthony Steer, who was subbed on. Davies gets the ball, but once again misses it wide. I feel like these players are purposely making me annoyed at them. Duxbury out on the wing. We still have 13 minutes left to go in this match. Tries to find a pass through, but we do get the ball right back. I mean, not a lot of bad possession here. Duxbury, oh, it's a heavy touch from Duxbury. Oh, man, if he would have just taken it to the byline, no heavy touch whatsoever, get a cross in, guaranteed, probably would have been a goal. But we'll never know at this point. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? McCoy, if he can just get around his defender and put in a cross, but that's not a good cross. I mean, we're all over Accrington right now. We just cannot finish our chances. We cannot get these chances to finish, and that's just another waste of an opportunity. Getting so far into their zone and not coming away with anything is rather disappointing. Ewell out there trying to get in across, but it is cleared away. But once again, I thought we would have had that possession, but Accrington once again on the ball. Getting it through to Hazeldine, and of course, we put in all these shots, but we cannot finish. I mean, what more can I say? It's Accrington finally being more competent than we are on the day by just finally finishing their chance. Something we need to do. McCoy out on the wing, getting inside of Peters, takes a shot once again. Doesn't decide to pick a post, just goes right at the goalkeeper. It definitely wasn't a bad time to use the 4-3-3, but after 15 shots, I expected the result to be a little different, and not a 1-0 defeat here to Accrington Stanley. We end on a bad note, but at the same time, it is a little bittersweet as we are staying up in the National League, as I said at the top of this episode. I'm far from pleased with what I'm seeing, and believe me, there's probably going to be some sweeping changes, especially on the defensive line, as that's really where our weakness was this past season. But that'll be taken care of in the offseason. Let's just do a final stats roundup before we finish out this season. So we're going to take one final look at the club, of course, goals, assists, and average rating, and then come to a decision during the offseason on who's going to stay and who's going to go. So just taking a look at the top goal scorers for the club, really only 2, and really the 2 that were brought in just to be goal scorers, Liam Davies and Rob Foster. 21 and 16 respectively, the 2 newbies making their mark on the club immediately, as they were really the only 2 guys that could score on this team. And as you look, the 3rd place guy wasn't even in double figures. What a big drop-off between Rob Foster and Ryan Freshwater, who only had 4 goals. That's a real stark contrast to how everybody played. You know, you only had the 2 guys up front in Davies and Foster, and then outside of that, nothing. So if you marked Davies and Foster, pretty much you cut out everything that my team was doing. So I need to try and rectify that for next season and not be a 1 or a 2-man show. Try and spread the goals around. Now, looking at assists, there was only 1 person in double digits, and that was Rob Foster. He was playing more of the deep-lying role, the deep-lying forward. So not only was he scoring the goals, he was getting the assists, helping out Liam Davies, helping out Elliot Pond and anybody else that was sitting up in that striker role. He was the only one in double digits. He had Marvin McCoy with 9 because of all of his good crossing abilities, getting it into the box and helping out the strikers. And then he had 3 tied with 7, Davies, Freshwater, and Whittleson, the other wing back, once again crossing it into the box, helping the strikers out. Overall average rating, you would have thought it would have been Rob Foster with the goals and the assist tally, but it is not. It is actually Jack Steele, one of the new wingers that I brought in during the season. He only had 25 appearances on the season, 3 goals, 4 assists, but probably a lot of key passes and key tackles helped contribute to his 7.38 rating. Joe Grayson, he may have only played in 15 matches, but also contributed a lot of key passes and key tackles to get a 7.23. Mark McCoy also on a 7.23, mainly because of his assisting skills. Taking a look near the bottom of the table, and you'll see a couple of players that I definitely did expect more out of during the season and was very, very saddened that they didn't deliver, and that is Elliott Pond and Christian Woodward. The striker Elliott Pond seems to be on his last legs here at the club. He's not really developing all that much. He hasn't been performing to the standards that he originally was when I brought him in. He's obviously not scoring the goals like he did back in the day, so he's pretty much dead wood at this point in time. I'm going to look to try and sell him. Keep on Anthony Steer once again because I feel that Anthony can take over that Elliott Pond role. And then Christian Woodward, center back, mostly, that really was a big letdown. He was constantly fouling, constantly getting not getting sent off, but making bad decisions, and that's what led to his 6.72 rating overall in the season, and really was not my first, second, or even third choice center back on the day. He was usually sitting on the outside watching from the stands, and I feel that it's time for me to move on from him. But at the same time, like I said, defense was not my strong suit for the season, so I'm going to look to try and strengthen that first and foremost in the offseason. But of course, that's going to be all on camera, or I should say that's all going to be off camera. And that's it. That's another season in the books, and we were very fortunate to come out of the relegation zone and finish in 17th place. It looked a lot bleak for a while, but in the second half of the season, we definitely turned on the Jets and were able to stay in a secure spot to come back into the National League. And next season, of course, I want to strengthen the squad and try and push towards the playoff spots, but that, of course, will come down to how well the players will play under my system. I'm going to look to try and tweak up the tactics as well, hopefully come out with something new, improved, and hopefully something that will actually get us into a top 5 spot. But that's all going to be done off camera. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this season. I hope you have enjoyed the series thus far. If you like what you saw, please go and hit that like button. Lets me know that you're still interested in the series. And subscribe if you're new and you want to see more FM content on the channel. Any comments, suggestions, questions, anything else at all, please leave in the comment box below. But as always, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.